Alright, so now we're going to make this final part, which is part 4 here, this product right here. And so to do that, I'm going to create a new standard IPT, English, standard IPT, hit OK. Comes up here, click on Start, go to, if this didn't come up, click on Start, click on XY plane. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle. And my circle, if I look at it here, I can see that this bottom one is 1.25 radius, so that's going to be double that because it's going to be 2.5. This one's 0.5, so it's going to be 1. But I can do that a little easier too in Inventor. I can come over here and go, so it's 1.25, right? So I'm going to click on here, do 1.25 times 2, because I know the diameter is twice the size. That's going to automatically give me the 2.5. See that? Then up here, I'm just going to create a circle in line with it. It's going to be 1, so 1 diameter. Now, the first thing I need to do before I do anything else, because it's important these stay vertical, because in terms of the project, I've got to make this little square in the middle here so that it's vertical. If you look at here, how the top is basically parallel with this center line here going across. So I've got to make sure it stays vertical. I can't have it, sometimes it will slip off on an angle, a little bit of an angle when you do the tangent. So I can't do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and click on go to my constraints over here. See this vertical constraint right there? See how it says vertical constraint? Vertical constraint, click on the center point of this circle and the center point of that circle. Oh, it's already exists. Okay, good. I already have it. I just put it in there. So now there's no, see now I can't grab this circle now and move it anywhere. It's stuck there. You can see how it's blue. The dot's blue. The outlines are not, because I'm not sure why, but it should be. But anyhow, so hit a line here, create a line any length I want, do another line over here, long line. Doesn't matter how long it is because I'm going to trim it out later. But I've got to go back into my and figure out, okay, 1.75 there. There we go. I've got to put that dimension in. So I'm going to come over here, dimension. My center point from here to here is 1.75. Come on. That point to this point, 1.75. Now they're constrained. That's why it wasn't constrained, because I didn't have that circle, the center point constraint. Now I'm going to hit escape on the keyboard, and now go to my tangent. See the tangent one right there? Click on that line and that circle. The tangent's still activated, so click on that line and that circle. Then click on this line and this circle. And click on this line and this circle. And once I've done that, they're tangents. Now I'm going to hit trim, which is up here. If I hold my mouse over the trim, you can see how the parentheses after trim right there, it says an X. X is a shortcut. So I'm going to hit X on the keyboard. You notice how the trim now is highlighted. Trim this part off, trim this part off, trim this part off, this part off, and then now I got to trim the circle. So trim that part of the circle, that part of the circle, and then that part of the circle. Then that's finished. Now, the next step then is I'm going to put my rectangle down there. And to do that, I'm just going to kind of put a little rectangle down here. I'm going to put an X through it as or actually just one line through there. And I'm going to center that point. So I'm going to constrain or lock the center point of this. Actually, I'm going to put an X in there and then lock the center point of the X, the intersection of the X there. So do an X. Let's see, where's the lock? Lock. Or actually, I'm going to move. So let me highlight this whole thing. Actually, click on the move command here. So I'm going to highlight this whole thing because now I've got my selected. Now hit midpoint. I'm going to select that, zoom in here. Move this intersection right here to the center point there. I won't let me do that. Alright, just took a little pause there to figure out exactly how I want to do this, and I figured out a better way of doing this. So click on the arrow for the rectangle down. There's 2-point rectangle, that's what we were doing. The 2-point rectangle allows me to put point. I don't want to do that one. The next one is 3 points. I could put 3 points for rectangle, 1, 2, and then a third point. I don't want that one. The third one, though, if I look down here, it says 2 point with the center. So click on the center, see how it does the center point, and then it comes out around the out. That's what I'm going to do. So click on the rectangle with 2 point center. Click on this midpoint. That way it stays right in the middle there. And now I can dimension it. So let me look and see what we've got for our dimensions. We've got, it looks like 0.125 is the length of all the lines. So if I come back to my thing right here and go dimension, click on this line here, 0.125. Dimension this one here, 0.125. Oops, I got that one already. So now I'm going to do this one here, 0.125. There's my rectangle right there. See that? It's already in there. Hit finish sketch. Zoom back a little bit so I can see the whole thing. Hit extrusion. Whoops. Hit the home here. Get it back in the middle there. There we go. Extrusion. Automatically do the outside here. Click on the outside here. See, the reason why it didn't give the extrusion first, didn't tell me which one, because I could choose the circle there. If I wanted to do the square there, I could have done that, since there's more things than just one to extrude. But I want to do this outside, so it keeps the square in there. Now let's find out what the thickness of this is. Where is it? See right there, 0.125. So let's go back into my inventor, 0.125. And there it's finished. And that's the way you do this drawing. Enjoy.